The big story, of course, right now is the passing of Queen Elizabeth. And it's taken the whole focus of the world because people feel as though a great age is gone now. You know, our last connection to this great age when Western civilization seemed to flourish more, seemed to make more sense, is finally gone. And we knew it was going to come. The woman was 96 years old, but it doesn't make it any less sad. There have been some really off-key responses. I've noticed this, especially from people on the left, who, while they may actually have liked the woman and while they may be trying to be polite on her passing, they don't like monarchy, they don't like tradition, they don't like Western civilization, so they don't really like anything that the woman stood for. And so it's created a real challenge in the way that they respond to this. Yesterday, before the news came that the Queen had died, the White House was asked about her ailing, the fact that all of her family members were traveling to her, the fact that it seemed like time was short. The response from Karine Jean-Pierre, I think, tells you everything you need to know about how the left stands at this moment in history.
On Queen Elizabeth, she served for nearly a third of American history. So how does President Biden view this special relationship between the U.S. and the U.K. if there were to be a transition in the British monarchy?
So don't want to, we feel like it's inappropriate to talk about hypotheticals here. What I will say about the relationship with the United Kingdom, as the president said in celebration of Queen's Platinum Jubilee, which is not too long ago, and this is quote, under her reign, the relationship between the United Kingdom and the United States has grown stronger and closer than ever. The president, as you all know, has known the Queen for over 3 decades. He's met her personally 3 times. Once was in June of 2021. Over the years, including, as I said, twice last year. Again, we see this relationship is stronger, grows stronger stronger and closer. And again, our hearts, the president's, as he said, our thoughts and our hearts are with the Queen, her family, and also the people of the United Kingdom.
Okay, perfectly nice thing to say. I'm not criticizing the sentiment at all. I am criticizing the language. Did you hear what she said? She said, and she apparently was quoting the president here, our thoughts and our hearts are with the Queen. That's a strange phrase. You don't hear that. Our thoughts and hearts are with you. That phrase is a substitute for our thoughts and prayers are with you. But the White House can't bring itself to say prayers. The left has made a point in recent years of mocking the phrase thoughts and prayers. And they mock thoughts and prayers because they believe that prayers are not efficacious because they don't believe in God. And the White House, as the chief representative of the American left, can't bring itself to use that phrase either. I promise you that was intentional, the omission of the word prayers. And maybe some of them do believe in prayers, but they feel like the base is so atheistic that they can't use the phrase. Or maybe, as I suspect, the administration is just not particularly Christian, not particularly religious, kind of mocks all of those things. Unfortunately, I think it's the latter. Really sad, because Queen Elizabeth, from the earliest days of her reign, was a defender of religion and public religion, private religion too, and private faith, and she viewed herself as serving God. And I think she did serve God. And she said, look, people are in this modern world, they're trying to toss out all the ageless truths and the ageless ideals, namely religion. The first on the list was religion. And she said, we really shouldn't do that. When we lose that, we're really lost. And when I heard that statement from the White House, it deepened my sense of dread that we were going to lose the Queen. Because I thought, man, you guys just don't get it. No one seems to get it. Or maybe they do get it and they're happy. Not that the woman has passed, but that age has passed and that sense of tradition and dignity and the notion that one serves one's family and community and country and ultimately one serves one's God. So many people at funerals think, after they finish thinking about the person who has died, they turn their thoughts onto themselves. And sometimes people cry at funerals because they're thinking of their own mortality. And it's a natural reaction. And I think a lot of people are thinking that way with the passing of Queen Elizabeth. We're thinking about ourselves. What does this mean for the world that we're living in? I had this thought last year. I went to my friend's wedding in France and took sweet little Elisa and the babies, and we made a whole family trip out of it. And we're walking around Paris, and sweet little Elisa, out of nowhere, she's looking at the building, she goes, "Man," that's obviously Elisa's voice, "Man, Mac, why can't we have these beautiful things? How come the French get beautiful things? Why don't we get beautiful things?" So that's a great question, because there are beautiful buildings in America. There's obviously a lot of beautiful geography, but there's some beautiful art, some beautiful buildings, but not a lot. They're kind of few and far between, and most of the buildings that have been built in the last century have just been these kind of glass and steel monstrosities, or this brutalist, hideous sort of architecture. And you walk around a city that's from another age, older cities, and you think, this is so beautiful. Why can't we have that? And that is the point of the monarchy. That is the point of the royal family. And the last really prominent one is in the United Kingdom, is to give the nation something to look up to. And it's a service role. I mean, these are people whose job it is to serve the country. They happen to wear tiaras, but their job is to go out and open up grocery stores and help encourage the country. But it's to give them a sense of dignity, not just efficiency, not just ticking up the GDP a little further, but a sense of dignity, a sense of tradition, a sense of culture, a sense of art. And the question that we have is, why can't we have that here? We have a different political tradition. I think we could cast our eyes up a little bit, but we've really got to dig in deep and not just cast away all of the past. When the Queen died, there were rainbows that appeared over Buckingham Palace and over Windsor Castle. When the Queen died, there was a double rainbow over Buckingham Palace, and then when they lowered the flag to half-mast, very briefly, a giant rainbow appeared over Windsor Castle. And it's not lost on me either that the Queen died on Merrymas, on the feast of the Nativity of Mary, Queen of Heaven and Earth. I don't think that's just a coincidence. I believe in providence. I think that's, providence is when God kind of peeks out from behind the curtain and winks at you. And it is a great consolation, because it's a reminder that no matter how useless our good works seem to be, no matter how pointless it seems to be to live a good life in a culture that doesn't really seem to reward that all that much, there is an order to things. There is an overarching providence, and we can see it peek out every now and again, and it's a great encouragement. I'm so glad you liked that clip. Now, if you want to get even more clips, would you please ring that bell, subscribe, get the notifications. We'll see you next time.